All right, hey everyone, we're here, third video for the Mazamas Canyoneering series. We've done, what we wear, we've done our wetsuits, then we did our gear, our harness, and everything on our harness. Now I'm going to talk about backpacks. The backpacks that we use, canyoneering specific backpacks, these are a PVC backpack. They've got lots of holes in them for easy draining. This is a 55-liter rod coal backpack. It's filled up. This is packed and ready to go for a canyon. So when you canyoneer, you pack everything that you're going to wear in the canyon in your backpack for the approach to the canyon, to the waterfalls, even with all the ropes in your bag. So you might think that you can get away with a smaller backpack, but 55-liter, probably a little bit too big for most people. 45-liter,
35 to 45 liter is the recommended size.
More recommended size. So we're gonna.
Mine's a 30. I have a similar backpack, same brand, as a 35 liter, and a lot of times I have to loosen up my brain, so rope will fit on the top. So like he said, if you think you can get away with a smaller backpack, just keep in mind you might have everything in your backpack as you're hiking in and then changing into your wetsuit.
Yeah.
Another thing is these have got holes in them, which are great for draining. It's really important that your backpack drains water. Otherwise, as you're rappelling down a waterfall, your backpack's going to fill with water and pull you down. So if you're rappelling with your backpack on, it can pull you over backwards. It doesn't have to be a canyoneering specific backpack. We have several of them. This is an inlay pack, more designed for dry canyons, so it has a more canvas type material, but it's very comfortable. It's one of the reasons we do the rod coal packs, is they're pretty comfy.
Yeah, those canvas packs, they get kind of heavy when they get wet, where that's perfect for Utah. They're great for Utah. They're durable. Where these, they don't soak up the water. The PVC doesn't soak up the water and get as heavy as the canvas backpack.
Also, a PVC backpack made by Petzl, but it's not quite as expensive as a rod coal backpack.
Yeah.
We've used this for lots of trips also, and it's held up through Utah and the Pacific Northwest.
Yeah, this is a 45-liter pack. This is one I started with. This is a great pack. I love this pack. They don't make this anymore. If they did, I would buy another one to have it as a spare.
So this is a good example that you can take any backpack that you have and make it a canyoneering backpack. So this is a 20-year-old backpack that was made in Korea when Brian was in the military, and I just took and put drain holes in it. It was a really comfortable backpack and was about the right size, and I wear it to Utah all the time, and I still love it just because it's so cushy and comfortable.
Yeah. So I'll show you, this 55-liter, it's pretty full, and I'll show you what I've got in it here. You can expect to carry a rope, or several of you are going to be carrying ropes, and this is the size of a rope bag. I've seen some folks try a dry bag backpack, and those don't work for carrying a rope bag, because this will get wet, and then we pull the rope down and we continue down the creek, and you have to put this back in your backpack. So the folks with the dry bag, they're unrolling their dry bag and putting this wet dripping rope into their bag. It doesn't work so well.
Or it just doesn't fit in general. And then you can't even strap it down to the top of the bag if you need to do that as a means to carry the rope.
Yeah. Helmet. You're going to need some place to put your clothes when you finish your approach and you're changing into your wetsuit. I also have my wetsuit in here. My wetsuit and jacket and knee pads fill about half of the bag, so plan on that. Your normal gear to take up half your bag, and then I've got an emergency kit, 10 essentials, first aid kit, and then my dry clothes will go into here, into my bag, and then the rope until it gets pretty full. I'll show you a couple of different options for dry bags here. A roll top dry bag, when they're thrown off of the top of a waterfall, or you jump and you're swimming, all of these leak. So everything in here, it doesn't get soaking wet, but it gets damp. So keep my food in a little mesh bag. I keep some extra webbing in here. And then my 10 essentials on the first aid kit, the stuff that cannot get wet, I keep this in a keg. And since it's mostly first aid, I put a plus on the top, and I tape the top closed here so it can't open. And I don't get into here unless I, absolutely have to, or somebody's cut their finger and they're bleeding, and something like that. But it's probably a little bit overkill for what we're doing here, but your regular dry bag is going to get wet. And then these sometimes leak as well. So anytime you double up, I've never had anything, get wet when I've doubled up, whether it be a double roll top bag, or, this combination with the roll top bag and the keg. But this is a mini keg here, and I've got another keg here to show you. This keg would be too big to fit inside of my roll top dry bag, but these are nice because they'll fit here. They lay nicely in the bottom. And
if you have a big enough backpack for that.
Right. This size, this usually fits across any backpack. And actually, the orange Petzl backpack for this year, the one they were making last year, has a special compartment that zips into the bottom of the backpack to specifically fit a canyoneering keg in the bottom of the pack. And then it stays down. It doesn't float up when you're jumping and you're swimming, and it just stays put. But I've not used that. I've not tried that. But kegs work well, and the roll top dry bags work well.
And I have, so Brian carries a first aid kit and a bunch of 10 essentials. He has a really beefy first aid kit. I have in a dry bag that also goes inside of a dry bag, some 10 essentials and a small first aid kit in case he's at the bottom of the pitch and I'm at the top of the pitch, or vice versa. So I at least have something to be able to help people who might be injured. Also try to keep in mind your first aid kit's going to vary in a canyon because everything's wet. So Band-Aids and things like that don't really do anything in an aquatic environment. So you're looking at more kind of catastrophic injuries and stopping bleeding and things like that, or getting someone out who has a sprained ankle or a sprained wrist or a broken arm. So we carry splints and things of that nature to help with those things.
Yeah. I always make sure to carry my headlamp and spare batteries in my keg. I would not want to be stuck overnight in a canyon without a headlamp, or even trying to, get out of a canyon. We've finished before at dusk and had an hour or two, exit out of a canyon, and it's black, dark at nighttime by the time you get back to the car, and so happy to have a headlamp.
Yes. So other things, we carry any extra gear in our backpacks. These actually have like a little gear loop that has mostly some rescue gear and some other technical gear that we're not going to go into for the sake of this video. But that limits what we do have on our harnesses. I also carry snacks in a small Nalgene bottle. If everything's in your dry bag and your dry bag's at the bottom of your pack, you might not stop to eat. So we found that keeping small snacks in an Nalgene bottle in your brain makes it really easy to open up with gloves on, and your hands are wet and you could just dump it in your mouth and have a quick snack. So it's very convenient. I also carry a water filter. He has a water filter also. Another thing that can be handy, this is not necessary, but I have goggles. A lot of times you might want someone to scout a pool and put some goggles on and look down below to see if there's rocks, logs, sticks, anything, if somebody's going to be jumping that could cause an injury.
And I keep a satellite messenger in my brain. This one just happens to be waterproof. I don't, I put it in the keg sometimes, but it ends up where I normally keep it is just in here. It gets wet, it gets submerged in the water, seems to work. I think they're rated for waterproof. This InReach Mini 2, it's went swimming lots of times and it still works, so I say it's waterproof.
I think that's it. Are we missing anything?
I think that's it. That's it. That's your Canyoneering Gear series for the Mazamas. Thanks for watching.